We're rolling? Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. And I'm coming at you guys with this list that I've been tweaking on. I've been through 5 different variations of it. And I've been strenuously playtesting it, practicing it. And I've literally done like, I don't know how many solitaire hands to get it right. But this is my Orcust list that I've been working really hard on getting it consistent. The way I have the list now, it is mathematically incorrect for me to ever break, and it has not occurred ever since I perfected this list. I took it to my locals just to test the waters. We played against, we played Thunder Dragons, we played Crusadia Guard Dragons, we played against, I forgot what I played against. No, that's right. We played against Pendulums, and then there was one other deck. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, and then we played against Shadal Dinos. But we went undefeated today with the Orcust, and I learned a lot about the deck. The fact it reminds me of like Herald, and it reminds me of like Shiranui Vendreads and Prankids and other decks like that, where they reward you for being skilled, and you can be patient with them. You don't have to rush your plays. You can also plan turns ahead as if you're playing a chess. Like, you don't have to do everything right now. You don't have to overcommit and just put all your cards on the board right now. Like, it's a very, very you can play it very conservative and you can get away with it. But like, it's amazing because a lot of decks this format, you can't play conservative with them because you just get blown out the water with like Boar Sword and a bunch of monsters. But this deck can protect itself very well. It has an amazing engine. Everything in it synergizes so well that every single hand functions in a way where there's not a single card that's not going to operate in a cohesive manner in tandem with the other combo pieces you have. So I'm going to showcase you guys my main deck and my side deck and my extra deck, and then we'll open the packs. So we're going to start off on these are arguably the best starter cards in my deck. They're all one-card combos, so I really like the Iblis. Now, what Iblis really helps you to play around is it's not just about the fact that it can chain block for direct interaction negations, because Impermanence and Valor are not direct interaction negations. So you could chain block Ash Blossom and Gamma, but it's the fact that after you give your opponent the Iblis, they can no longer infinite Impermanence or Cypher and Gamma. So it literally can help you play around Ash, Impermanence, and Gamma. And if they bail this, then they just throw a card away. But if you go into this and you make your mermaid chain link 1 and this chain link 2, you give them this, and for the rest of the turn, if they had a Gamma or an Impermanence, this just happens to be like a pseudo call by. I really love it. It's powerful. In Sky Striker matchups, I've literally just, like testing against Sky Strikers, I've literally just given them Iblis and then Trish Bania'd all their back rows and then attacked their link, and Ray couldn't come out because they still had Iblis. Then I attacked the Iblis. So this card's really broken in this deck. This deck plays Iblis better than any deck I've ever seen. Grepher is arguably the second best starter card because it's a one-card combo that can give you a plethora of snowballing effects that accumulate, not necessarily in a gradual manner. In fact, it actually, the tempo of your game will more than nearly double the pace of how fast you're playing just by having a Grepher, because it starts up 2 engines at the same time. Iblis does not start up 2 engines at the same time. A Grepher does. It can start up your Dane, and if you have Nessie in your hand, you start up all 3 engines, which we're playing in the deck. So Grepher is just broken. And then Armageddon Knight is the weakest normal summon. It's crazy because Armageddon Knight's a strong card, but it's the weakest normal summon of the deck. But we're still playing the 5 one-card combos. Everything else in your deck is not a self-contained one-card combo. Like, anything else is going to be putting 2 monsters with different names on the board to make a Link 2 Nightmare to go into Mermaid. And that's the reason, even though people hate the Dangerous, that's my justifiable reason for playing the Dangerous, because they do exactly that to make my deck, even my worst hands, will still function and go into the combo. So we have those 5 one-card combos. They're nuts. And by the way, it's 60-card Orcust. Then for the Orcust, we played 3 Harpors. So what Harpor basically does is it banishes itself and specials an Orcust from the deck, except itself. When you have your field spell, you can do some shenanigans with this deck. Honestly, you can. But Harpor is an amazing card. I found that there's 3 different ways you can make Warlord Savage Dragon, and the easiest way is literally opening the combo with Iblis or anything that makes Mermaid in the first place, like Phoenix in the Mermaid, with this in your hand, discarding it for cost for Mermaid. And then what you end up doing is you get, if your hand's good, you end up having Rusty, you end up having 2 Fog Blades, you have Warlord Savage Dragon, and Rusty is going to be turned into the Topologic Bomber Dragon, and you can bring the Rusty back off your Fog Blades. So you have 2 interruptions off Fog Blades, a direct negation with Warlord Savage Dragon, and then the Raigekis off of Bomber Dragon. If you're playing against Geist and Strikers, you literally just turbo out Topologic Trishbania, turn 1. If they don't open it out, they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they can't play without their back row. And then we have 2 copies of Nightmare. The fact that this card is a Nightmare is what makes it so broken, because you can access it through a myriad of different combos. I can't think of a single combo in this deck that can't get this card out. And this is one of the bread butter plays. There's some cute little damage pushes that you can go for with this card, which actually, it was relevant today. It was nuts. Like, this card's amazing. It really is. I play two because if I ever open one with hand, I still, even though you could discard it for cost to just summon an Ibli with Mermaid, I still like having a second target in deck because this is an Orcust name and Ibli's not. And this turns this and the Mermaid into the Galatia, which I call the She Grim Reaper. So this card's broken. We play two Symbol Skeleton. In my opinion, Symbol Skeleton is absolutely the best Orcust monster in the deck because it has the most longevity. There is no card that's going to take you farther and longer than Symbol Skeleton can, because after turn 1, he can bring back your Link 4s, your Link 3s, your Link 2s. When we get the XYZ, he brings back the XYZ. He's full of shenanigans. He's the best Orcust. Once you set up with him, he's going to be the best play you can make. He is that good. And then I'm playing one copy of Brass Bombard because it has synergy with a lot of your combos. Anything that can get Heart Horror before committing to the Nightmare, you can use this to make your Borlo Savage Dragon, because Nightmare is conveniently a level 7, which, okay, it's like Konami saw that coming and they just were like, all right, let's make this deck able to make Borlo Savage Dragon. And they conveniently made it a dark, like, all right. And then we play one wand. You don't need more than one. There's too many ways to access this card. Like, every combo gets you to this card, and I wouldn't play more because it's not once per turn. It's hard once per turn. In addition to that, a lot of the times it doesn't do much in your hand unless you can get in the grave. So I just really like playing only one of it. So that's it for all the Orcust stuff, or the Orcust, or however you want to pronounce them. Next up is the Phantom Knights, which we've actually played Phantom Knights since Wing Raiders. I've been playing PK Fire since Wing Raiders. So these same Phantom Knights that I have, I've had these for like 3 years now. But we have 2 copies of Ancient Cloak, 2 boots, and 1 copy of gloves. It's mathematically correct for me personally to play. Is it at a good angle where everybody can see things perfectly? Like, if you were watching this video, would you be okay with the angle?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so it's mathematically correct to play 2 of each of these because they come up. A lot of times when I'm going in with my Danger combos, if I end up discarding this, I don't directly search Fogblade. Instead, I use it to search Boots, which gives an extra card in my hand, and when this gets pitched, then I search Fogblade, and it keeps my hand size at the same amount, because the Dangers naturally put you on a -1. They commit a body to field by discarding a card, so even when you got a body on field at the cost of a card, and you drew one, you still have 4 cards in hand, then you have 3. But when you have a Phantom Knight to pitch, any one of these, naturally it's better to start with this one. You can just go through the chain where you can keep your hand side filled. There are some cute plays like where like some nutty plays actually with like I did Symbol Skeleton and revealed the boots, especially because I had Rusty, and then I went into Break Sword and just finished clearing the board, like systematically picked the board apart. Like, it's nuts. I have a lot of good stories with this deck. I had a blast. I mean, when I say I had so much fun, this deck was so fun. I just nicknamed it Build-A-Bear Workshop, because this deck can literally make whatever you want it to make as long as it's under the restriction of dark. So you just take your skill level, you apply it, you use your adaptive, accumulative experience that you've got from playing the deck or just playing a Yu-Gi-Oh in general, and you can make a super gangsta Orcust deck without the counter trap and without the rank 8. It's still amazing. So we have the Phantom Knights. It's a perfect ratio. There were interactions today where we got to a Break Sword, clear card, and then bring back 2 Phantom Knights, and we could have went into Time Thief, but I chose to go for the Rebellion, because I still like the Rebellion Requiem route, even though a lot of people like Azathoth. I'll explain why, but you guys know I always explain. Then for our Dangers, we're playing 3 Nessies. Nessie is just broken, you guys. It really is. And it conveniently is a level 7, which came up today where I use this and Bomb Brass for it to go into Borlo Savage, because it's a level 7. So it just has cute plays outside of that. And if you guys are curious why I'm playing the Dangers, it's not because they're all Upstart Goblins. It's not because they let you link line. A handful of Dangers with 0 Orcust and 0 Phantom Knights will get you into your Orcust and your Phantom Knight engine, because they put dark monsters on the field for your Phantom Knight link monster, or they can just put 2 monsters with different names for you to go into a generic Link 2 Nightmare that turns into Mermaid, and that's the combo. So by putting Dangers in my deck, I increased my consistency in opening up with the combo. So I literally play 27 Dangers because that's 27 additional combo pieces. So the funny thing is, by making my deck a 60-card deck, I literally made it more consistent by incorporating 27 Dangers. People do not believe me, but I literally made it more consistent by putting in 27 Dangers. And I don't care about the drawing. I'm not trying to sorry use this Skuldred Turbo or anything like that. I just want 2 monsters with different names on the field, because the Orcust combo gets you to the Phantom Knights anyways. But it's just amazing that you can also just use the Dangers to go straight into your Phantom Knights if you want to. So we have 3 Jackalopes, 3 Nessies. 3 soup. These being level 3s is extremely relevant because I really love Breaksword. That card is amazing. It's been revered as one of the greatest rank 3s of all time. And in his own deck, he gives you a cumulative advantage that you can consider as capitalizing on your deposit that you're gonna withdraw. What you're gonna withdraw from later on through the progression of the duel. Because even if you don't want to make the rank 4 play with them, they still extend you into more combos, which is nuts. Just by making a Breaksword to clear cards and then bring back 2 Phantom Knights from the grave for free. It's stupid. And then we have 3 copies of Choopy and 3 copies of Mothman. These being level 4s matters because I do play rank 4s in the deck. I play Time Thief Redoer, and I do play also Dark Rebellion. There are other generic rank 4 darks that you can play, which is really nice. And then the dangers that are broken go in second because I main deck 0 hand traps. People are gonna say, oh, 3 stacks, bro, you gotta play hand traps. Well, the way I feel, the only time I wanna play hand traps is somebody's trying to cheese me and not let me play. But if I'm allowed to play, this deck is literally so good. And if you're a skilled player, this deck can be more skillful than Ari is. It's so skillful that you can open 0 hand traps and pick apart like almost any board I can think of, and in a systematic manner where it's literally this, and then everything else. Like, for example, I played Crusader Guard Dragons, Crystal Wing, Don Draxter, Imperial Order. Cleared it, no hand traps needed. And then game 2, he opened up with Crystal Wing and Morphage Goliath, summon off of the Skull Dread. I cleared that field. Like, it's nuts. Going second against Thunder Dragons. Oh, cleared their field. Like, Longaritsu or Custrion. Longaritsu or Custrion is broken. Like, this deck is insane, you guys. This is better than Salamangreats. This is better than Sky Strikers. This is better than Altergeist. It has ridiculously high ceiling, and it turbos out the Topologics. It turbos the Topologics and plays them in the best way I've ever seen them played outside of Paleos using Topologic Bomber Dragon like 4 times. Like, you're playing against Geist and you're playing against Geist and Strikers, summon Trish Banny turn 1. If they don't open a way to out that card, they're gonna lose. If they open a way to out it, guess what? That's not your only play. Any heavy combo deck, summon Topologic Bomber Dragon. My favorite board today was Orcustrion with Longaritsu and the Phantom Knight Link in the main monster zone. It was nuts. Like, I had Longaritsu pointing to the extra monster zone and then Orcustrion. It was stupid. Like, negations, disruptions, it's dumb. And then we have the rest of the dangers. These are broken going second, and I needed to maximize on them because if I lose a dice roll, I just have to pick. I have to break boards the old-fashioned way. Like, I can't use evenly match or anything like that. Like, if I have a good hand and I have evenly in it, I'm just gonna opt to use my good hand because I can go for damage pushes and break the board anyway. You use evenly for literally those boards where you just can't break. Like, they're like Rivalry, Secret Village. Oh yeah, and then I flip like Protocol, stuff like that. Like, you can't pick those apart with monster effects, especially because you're playing Dangers. Then you use evenly for those boards. But other than that, you're just playing good old-fashioned Yu-Gi-Oh! In the terms of breaking boards. You're just doing it the old-fashioned way. Out this, out this, out this. Like, I used Bomber Dragon going second, and it was broken. Like, I played through 3 negations and then summoned a Bomber Dragon, cleared the field, and still had plays to make. And then we have 3 copies of Danger Thunderbird and also 3 Ogopogos. The reason why I like maximizing on the level 8 specifically is because I like turboing out Zombie Stein as quickly as I possibly can. Because Zombie Stein is a pseudo Omni Negate that works very similar to Equimax. And there's another Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro that negates a card on the field. Zombie Stein can target a card on the field and negates effects to the end of the turn. It's like nearly an Omni Negate except for graveyard effects and effects that resolve in hand. But if it hits the field, he can interact with it. So when you have, I've had Zombie Stein, Borlord Savage Dragon, Double Fogblade, and Orcustrion, like so much interactions. And then my graveyard had a party, an after party, and then literally an entire contingency plan just sitting in my graveyard waiting like, please break this board because I can't summon any more monsters. My zones are full. Break this board so I can keep playing because I can still keep going. Like, it's nuts. But yeah, we're maximizing on these. And then we max out on every danger, dude. Like, because getting 2 dangers on the board is the combo as long as they have different names. Dogman actually put in work just reducing attack today, like help for DPS. And again, he's level 7. Q plays with him in the level 1 tuner. So those are all of our dangers. We literally play 3 of every single danger, bro. There's not a single one that I decided to cut at all. Hands with dangers, even if you just open 1 danger, if you get to summon it, normal summon, that's the combo. It's literally that good. So for spells, we have 3 Allure of Darkness. Some cute plays with this card right here. Like, there was a time where I needed to resolve Orcustrion, and I didn't have 3 banished machines. Oh, Allure of Darkness. Banished Orcust Nightmare from my hand. I have 3 machines now. Orcustrion. Negate Colossus now. Do it. Like, broken. 2 beginning of the end. I don't want to play 3 because it can make my hands bad. This card is just stupid. Like, the Orcust combo itself gets 5 Darks Engraved before you start banishing for the rest of the effects. You're playing 27 Dangers. Like, I can't even tell you how many times like I've been like, okay, Bale Impermanence. Oh, and the Ash Blossom. Okay, guess what? Combo anyways. After I'm done with my combo, beginning of the end, get 3 cards. So your 3 hand traps were -3s. I still went full combo. I broke your board. I have 4 interruptions, and then, oh, I have 4 cards in hand. So all of this costed me 2 cards. Yeah, this, One Orchestrated Return, I was testing it at 2. I end up having to cut it, not because I didn't like it, because I love this card, especially when you need the other one. I ended up having to cut it. The reason being is because it is a situational card, and it's not going to progress your game state when you go off of the combo, because every Orcust on your field has to get used for link summoning. This is only good when you're setting it off of Galatia when you have expendables in your hand. When you have expendables in your hand, you can use this. But if you use this for one of your Orcusts on the field, your combo is going to be weaker and the duration is not going to last as long as you want. Because every Orcust combo gives you interruptions, enables you to break boards systematically, which is nuts, and they give you follow-ups, which I'm very huge on follow-ups. Because like, I don't ever want to play a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I have to commit every resource I have just to play, and then if my board gets broken, I can't play anymore because I have nothing left. No, Orcust rewards you for playing conservative. You can be conservative aggro. I didn't even know that was impossible to play conservative aggro. And then we have one Babel. Oh, baby. Like, there's only one time when I wish the second one was there because I ended up having to banish this off Trishmania, but I won that duel anyways. Card destruction, nuts. Oh yeah, somebody had the God Hand against me today. Like, no, you had the God Hand. You did. You had Pin Claw, Dark Worm, just the nuts. Card destruction.
Yeah, you destroyed my Exodia.
I destroyed your Exodia hand. And then we have one Foolish, the most clutch one of utility card ever. Like, this card can do anything in this deck. Like, opening Foolish with any monster that can be put on the board is ridiculously insane. And then we have the rank up spell. I'm actually, I was considering playing Calamity still, even without the rank 8, because Zombie Sign happens to be a dark rank 8, and I can get his materials out pretty quickly. But yeah, we're still experimenting with the extra deck. The extra deck can be whatever I want it to be. I also chose the Rebellion Requiem route over the Azathoth route, even though a lot of people say Azathoth's great, and I'm not knocking him. I'll explain to you why I play what I play. And then these are the Phantom Knight traps that I play. Fog Blade is nuts. Like, as an extender, it's better as an extender than it is as an actual interruption. Its graveyard effect is broken. I would OTK pushes with this. I was like, oh, dang, I can only trigger Topologic Bomber Dragon twice. Nope. We can trigger it 3 times. Okay, alright. Alright, Konami. And then Shade Brigandine, it's a level 4, which is really important. It's a dark, which helps you to basically open up more plays and give you more options. And worst case scenario, it's something to trigger your Topologics. And this deck can Topologic Turbo if you want it to, but I didn't want to make it to where it's solely relying on just the Topologics to play, because the deck can do so much more than that. And I did not want to put it in a box and make the deck a caged bird that only relies on Topologics. This card is nuts too. And also just making Time Thief Redoer, like I made Time Thief Redoer with this and a Mothman, and my Time Thief Redoer had a trap now, so now I can get one of his best effects to interrupt, and still like it's just so nuts. That's the extra deck. I mean, that's the main deck. 60 card deck, you guys. And then my extra deck, I play one of each Orcust Link. Because I don't play a lot of targets for Galatia, which I call her the She-Grim Reaper. Her eyes are closed, bro. She's grinning and her eyes are closed, and she has a scythe in her hand, bro. Can somebody explain to me what's going through her mind right now? Like, and then Longaritsu, I love this card. The Glare? Okay. Longaritsu, I love this card. Longaritsu is nuts. Like, this is why this deck has such a great Thunder Dragon matchup, in my opinion, because of Garitsu and Orcustrion. And there were a couple times where I Fog Bladed, like I double Fog Bladed Colossus and then Topologic Bomber Dragon, and they couldn't protect themselves because they're negated. But like, these out Thunder Dragons instantly. This negates their effects, makes their attack 0. Like, this has all linked monsters that your opponent controls, and if they're linked, you can make them linked because they have arrows that point up. All of them do. All of your opponent's linked monsters, their effects are negated forever as long as they're linked. It's not until the end of turn. As long as they are linked, and you can literally lock your opponent out of 3 of their own zones and make them have to play in an uncomfortable manner where they have to play in the middle column and they have to play in this column right here. So these are the only ones that they get. And then Longaritsu at any time can send, guess what? And he sends a linked monster, right? So if your opponent's like, oh, okay, I just summon a land 4 Linkus that opens 2 zones here. I'm going to summon something here. You're like, Longaritsu, send that to the grave. They're like, but it's not linked by your card. It's linked, though. That's all that matters. Oh, some summoner, you just put a Colossus there. Longaritsu, send it to the grave right now. Do it. Oh, and then guess what? Screwed himself over because Colossus here, some summoner. Okay, Orcust, negate everything. I can't believe these cards even exist, bro.
Don't forget that he can't be destroyed by card effects.
Can't be destroyed by card effects. You trigger it off topo, he doesn't die. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. People think, if you think that that's bad, then you're saying that Colossus's protection is irrelevant because he basically can't be destroyed by battle or card effect until you clear all the thunders. So yeah, we play one of each of them. They're nuts. You don't even need more than one because not only can they recycle themselves, even if you just banish them at the beginning of the end if they get called by, but also they can be brought off of your simple skeleton infinitely. There's no way that you won't be able to interact in a way to get these back, because if they're in the banish zone, you could shuffle them back with the other links, or you can literally, if they're not in the banish zone, they're in the grave, you can literally just use simple skeleton and put them back. And you'll never run out of simple skeletons because these shuffle dark machines from your banish zone. They are broken. Like, so good, man. And then Rusty, goodness gracious. My worst hands make this card.
Yeah.
Like, so many interruptions.
Band-Aid per second?
I'm really sad because I'm actually a huge fan of Phantom Knights and I love them and I really love this card. But the fact that everybody's playing it is what makes a card very, very susceptible to being banned. But this card's broken. It really is. Summon Sorceress, enable so many Q combos. Oh, it got impermanence. I got double impermanence. Okay, full combo anyways. It's broken. And then we have the topos. You can make these with your worst hands. This is this nani boo boo, wham 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 ha ha. Like, you go Trish Bania. All right, banish the spells and traps. All right, special another one. Go into bomber effect, clear the field. All right, so I've just cleared all your spells and traps and all your monsters, and I'm still not done. Going second, these are more broken. But when you're going first, you just set up with these. This interacts with everything that's not Geist and Strikers. Geist and Strikers, please Widow Anchor this, or you're gonna lose. Like, it's nuts, you guys. It really is. It's a really, really strong interaction that you could get off of these. And then I chose Phoenix as my generic link to Nightmare, and then the Mermaid. I just thought that Phoenix was a lot better because there's more back row decks than there are, like, combo decks. And this deck is really strong against both. Like, I would say that this deck doesn't really have a bad matchup against meta decks. I say that there are specific cards that you can side deck that can harm it, but it doesn't have a bad matchup. Zombie Stein, love this card. It's a Dark Break 8, and it's broken. Okay, it's broken. It's nearly the equivalent of that Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro that negates a card on the field. He negates a card on the field to the end of the turn, which is nuts. And he's 45 base. Okay. I chose this over Azathoth, and if I wanted to not play this and just play Azathoth, this can easily open a what I'm going to do when the rank 8 comes out, this is going to be the rank 8, and this is going to be True King of all Chlamydia. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But I chose this because I like this one's more aggro. Azathoth's a linear one-trick pony, and he can be outed by like Widow Anchor or also Impermanence. With this guy, he gives you more longevity because he's not just for one turn. He also is an incredible extender. Like, when you have this and you have Rusty, you can literally negate on monster effects, special in XYZ to Rusty zone, trigger Rusty to pop a card. You can't do stuff like that with Azathoth. And then on your turn, you can end up getting another pop off Rusty anyway. So I really like this. And you can go for huge damage pushes with this, but you can't go for huge damage pushes with Azathoth. So it's just personal preference, but I just really love this a lot. And then, goodness gracious. Why? It's not fair. And then Breaksword, love this card. He's best played in his own deck when you can actually summon him. I use his effect. Okay, I negated and destroyed it. You negated and destroyed it. Bring back my 2 Phantom Knights. All right. Going to this guy. Oh, okay. And then the final card is Warlord Savage Dragon. All right, I'm basically done, bro.
All right.
All right, so Warlord Savage Dragon. I'm just gonna skim through my my side deck real quick. So Warlord Savage Dragon is really easy to make in this deck. The Brass Bombard is a level 1 tuner. So it's so many combos that can summon this, and you normally equip Summon Sorceress, so he gets 3 negates, and he's pretty huge too. He's 42. Side deck real quick because we gotta go. It's 3 Ash, 3 Bells, 3 Imperm. For all the combo decks, Guard Dragons, I realized I don't even need to hand trap them because apparently the deck's just that good. My deck's that good. And then 3 Evenly's 3 reboots for all back row decks. And Evenly's just a generically great side deck card. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to side deck to compensate for where my deck is lacking. And my deck is lacking on turn 0 interruptions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll open the packs later. But that's all I have for the deck profile. Thank you guys very much for watching it. Have a blessed day. You guys make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content and stay positive. Peace.